Welcome, everyone. Noah here on the Dynamics Weekly newsletter and podcast. This is a unique series of podcasts about Dynamic Communities Community Summit, which is scheduled for October 19th through the 23rd in Orlando, Florida. Here it is, June already. And even though this says in October will be here in no time at all. Summer will be gone, and you'll be ready to come to Orlando for this great Microsoft Dynamics conference. We'll be talking with Academy class and session presenters leading up to the conference. And today we have Mary Myers with us. Mary, how are you doing?
We're doing great. Thanks for having me today, Noah.
Yep, it is great to hear you and have you join us today. We've had several recordings I've already done with a lot of class presenters and session presenters. So it's good to get you added to that roster.
Yeah, excited to be here.
So you have been in the Dynamics arena for a while now, I guess since maybe 2015 or so.
2018, actually. I feel like I used to say I'm a new kid on the block, and then I realized, I'm having so much fun that time's flying. So been around the space for about, I guess, 8 years now, if my math is right. But yeah, since about 2018.
Okay. I had seen that you had started off with AX as a super user.
Yeah.
Was that you started with the AX stuff in 2018?
No, in that part, so it's kind of funny. So when I started off as an end user at a manufacturing company, and they happened to be doing, or they used AX like 2009, right? And that was in 2015 that I started working there. And it was funny at the time, my whole job was to run our sales tax table and keep it updated with the Nexus for each different state every month and all of that good stuff and the rates. And they said that would take me three weeks a month, and then I could cross train the other day or the other week of the month. And I have my degree and background in accounting and happen to love taxes like a crazy person. And so it only took me like 2 days a week or like 2 days a month to, keep all of our taxes up to date and get all of our things filed. So I ended up cross training across our accounting department and then into our purchasing department and sales. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I became a F&O super user before diving into the consulting world.
Awesome. And so that was with AX, F&O. Are you still working with those products and Business Central as well, or have you just switched to Business Central?
No, I just switched to Business Central. So that was in 2018 is whenever I got into the Dynamics world, and that happened to be the same year, that Business Central went mainstream. And so I was hired as an F&O consultant, but just like any good partner, he looked at me and said, "Hey, do you think that you can learn Business Central?" And I said, "Sure." Right? Just like everyone else was learning at the time. So then I self-taught myself Business Central again, being an accounting major and running several different, businesses. And as far as like office managers and accounting roles, putting myself through school, the business process was nothing, right? I know that part inside and out. And so then I was just kind of teaching myself Business Central. And I love Business Central. And I think that F&O makes me want to make up new curse words. So I just stick to Business Central these days, and Power Platform, of course.
Awesome. And by the way, I love the job title you have on the Summit website, Chief Maximizer at WorldMax. So that's a really catchy title. I love that.
Yeah, thank you. I kind of one of our goals, or so here's the thing. So ironically enough, today's as we're recording this is June 10th, and I saw my Facebook memories this weekend. I think it was June 8th was the day that I went to my first Power Apps in a Day course, and that was at like a D365 Saturday in New York, and that's where I experienced Power Platform. And it just opened my eyes and changed the way that I saw business processes. And so at that point in time, I was so excited about what the Power Platform could do for small businesses and for end users like myself, right? And how it could just change the way that they were working. I was so excited about this that I had to like give this feeling inside of me a name. Was the only thing I could do to like quantify how excited I was. And so that was World Max. And so the goal, or kind of the concept behind it, is I wanted to be able to help as many people as possible reach their maximum potential using the Power Platform. And therefore, I do call myself the Chief Maximizer, right? It's kind of like I am here to help people reach their maximum potential. So that's where it came from.
That's awesome. And it's a great segue into your class as well. So you have a class on Sunday, October the 19th. The title of it is Master Power Automate. And it's a whole day class. And let's see, I'll let you tell us about the highlights for that one, because I am really new to Power Platform stuff as well. So I'll let you lead the way with this class description.
Perfect. I think that we'll kind of update this class description to include Master Power Automate for Business Central, because that's specifically what this class is for. And it's one thing that I am insanely passionate about, which is why I'm teaching this course. And what this course is for, right? So we have Power Automate. Many people have heard of Power Automate, right? It's automating our systems, our business processes. People are very used to using it with things like Dataverse and CRM and Canvas apps and our model-driven apps and that type of component of it. But then we have our friend Business Central, and it is not like Dataverse, right? And so it's kind of like this other kind of concept of saying, okay, a lot of people are like, I know Business Central, but I don't know Power Automate, or I know Power Automate, but I don't know Business Central. And there's, a stiff learning curve with kind of how do I use Power Automate for Business Central, right? So that's what this course is doing. It's kind of going from zero to kind of masterful. I wouldn't say that you're going to be a Power Automate expert, right? But are you going to be able to start using Power Automate with Business Central? Absolutely. Right? So we start from a ground up approach. The class does move pretty quickly. We'll kind of put that out there because we got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. But the first part is kind of like an intro to Power Automate. What are triggers? What are actions? What are different flow types? Kind of those basic components. And then it's saying, okay, this is now, the specifics of Power Automate for Business Central. Because with Business Central, we're gonna have our Business Central APIs, and it's really being able to master and understand, when do I have a regular API? When do I need a custom API? Right? How do I really extend Business Central with Power Automate? And then the final part of the course is doing some advanced labs, and each part of the class has labs, hands-on labs, where we go from easy to hard, right? And these are examples that people, when they're done with the class, they can go right back to their, right back to work and use right away. I had several students. Last year we taught this course. We had 19 students, and I had several people be able to go back and complete the entire workflows that they were going to hire out, that they were then able to do internally, because we're covering things like purchase order approvals, right? One of our most common things, and being able to send that through multiple levels. And then we also finish up with our most complex solution, is showing how to do a start to finish integration with Business Central for a third-party system for a sales order, right? So that's saying, hey, I've got a list of sales orders from a third-party system and I need to enter my sales order header with my customer and I need, my sales order lines with items, right? So you walk away with having that example solution that you can go and use, in production. So just a little bit excited about it.
Awesome, great. I see the primary track listed as automation, the primary product, power platform. The ability level is listed as intermediate. Should beginners in this topic consider this class as well?
Gosh, it's kind of hit or miss with that, right? I would say I've had people that have zero Power Automate experience come in and do just fine. And some people struggle. I would say, and that component, you need to know your technical aptitude, right? If you're somebody that picks up to things pretty quickly, if you've worked with Power BI, if you are familiar, if you're good with Excel expressions, right? But you're new to Power Automate, those things I think would all be very, very familiar, to you, which would still be fine. But I will say, like I said, the class does move, it does move quickly. So I don't want to shy away from that. If you've never opened up Power Automate before and you're brand new to Dynamics and Business Central, so you're brand new to both of those, you're going to be in for a long day. Yeah, you're going to be in for a challenge. I will say that, but I hate to be negative.
Okay, I understand. And you have the audience listed as a wide range of users like developers, consultants, or business users. So it's a wide array of people that you're targeting for the audience.
Yeah. And that's really because, like I said, some of your strengths are right. When we're looking at anywhere from a developer to an end user, you're going to, I would say, like there's two main parts to this component, right? Power Automate, which is, development type concepts. And Business Central, you need to know Business Central functionality, right? To be able to make sure that your flow goes in the right order. So if you're strong in one of those, you're just learning and understanding kind of the other part as we're going through it, right? So like my developers, so we have developers in there, a lot, and they do real well, in the course, because a lot of times they already are very familiar with the Business Central functionality and the Business Central APIs. They just didn't know how to make that translation in Power Automate, right? It would be the same thing of like if I jump into something like Visual Studio, I want to just cry. I don't know how to use that tool, right? So for a developer, they know that component and they're just learning that tool. And again, a lot of same times with functional people, they may not understand Business Central APIs fully to the level that a developer does, but they know that they have a purchase header. They know that there's lines on that, right? And I would say too, one of the reasons that I think that we go to such a large group of people is, as I was sharing, my degree is in business management and accounting. I am not a developer by trade. So we go through this class of a day, if I call it like Mary's Madness, right? Like these are all like the funny, like little ways that I explain things to people that aren't really techy, right? And so it kind of allows it to stick, I think, to people a little bit better. Because again, I'm kind of coming from it of somebody that doesn't know development, right? So yeah, so and prior to this, one of the reasons I decided to start doing this course is I've had the opportunity to work with programs like TechFluent and the Power Platform School, which is training with beginners, people that are trying to get into the Power Platform program. and just Dynamics community. So your skill sets there, right, are of all different levels as well. Then that's where they're
Mhm.
supposed to be. So I've had the opportunity and privilege to train hundreds of people across the world, with
Mhm.
various different skill sets. So I've seen things, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I know when to see, like, when my class is lost and we need to slow down, right? And kind of having that experience to ebb and flow to meet whatever amazing group that ends up signing up for the class, you know. So I think it's just kind of being able to know and work with different levels of students. And I've been different levels of students in their shoes, you know, so I think it's a little bit easier to relate.
Good. And registration is open for this class here. It's listed as right now. It's listed as Master Power Automate. You may change that title, but they can always look it up by your name as well.
Of course.
Registration for this class and Summit, those are separate. So if you are out there and you're about to register for Summit, that's great. Those starts on the 19th and goes through the rest of that week through Thursday. But the academy classes, like this one is an academy class, is a separate registration. So make sure you're registering for the class as well if you intend to attend it.
That's right.
And Mary, since you're with World Max is going to be there with a booth in the expo hall. Will you be around that whole week?
I will be there all week. In fact, you guys, I would say watch out. There will be a save the date coming out in the next week or so. World Max will be sponsoring a golf tournament on October 18th. So the day before the class, think about this. You fly in, we have a free golf tournament. Like I said, we put the registration out soon, so be watching out for that. It's a great day of community. Doesn't matter what your golf skill level is, just everyone come out there, have a great day. We may or may not have an open tab that we'll have out there as well. And then, of course, you can find World Max over at booth 216, where we will be raffling off one of the new QI 35 tailor-made AI drivers. So if you're looking
Oh,
for a new
nice.
driver, yeah, we believe in golf more, work less with automating your processes at WorldMax. So we're here to help you do it.
That is a great philosophy.
Yeah.
So,
So.
will you be you'll be playing in the tournament on that Saturday or working that?
Oh, I'll be playing. I will definitely be
Okay.
playing. Mike Morton and I, we are looking to win it this year. Tiffany Allen won it last year with God, he's gonna kill me. I can't remember his name right now. I want to say Scott Brennan. Last Mike Brennan. Maybe it's Mike Brennan out of Scottsdale. Amazing golfer, but we're coming for y'all. But yeah, it's gonna be a great day. I should say there's prizes. We do give away prizes for first place, second place, and most honest.
Nice. Okay. I have won some most honest ones in the past. Not at your tournament, but at other tournaments.
Well, here's a new opportunity for you, Noah.
I am scheduled to teach a class on Saturday, but if something happens or someone else teaches that class for me, then you will see me on the golf course.
We'd love to have you out there.
So if everybody wants to get in touch with you before or after the class you have, should they just go through LinkedIn? You'll have the mobile app coming up in July, uh, or schedule a time to meet you at the booth in the expo hall.
All of the above. I'm around, right? If you want to find me on LinkedIn, Mary Myers, you're probably already sick of my face, or you will be. We post all the time on there, so would love to have you join my LinkedIn network in general. You can also email me at mary@worldmaxp2.com. And on there, and my website is worldmaxp2.com. You can find my calendar. Any one of those places, you can book a meeting with me before And of course, we'd love to have you stop by the booth at Summit as well.
Okay, awesome. And I did want to throw in here as well, saw where you are down in the Tampa area, and you lead the Tampa user group focus groups there.
I do. Yeah, we try to have monthly meetings. It's been a little hard this last year, but we do have monthly. We try to, like I said, have monthly meetups in the Tampa area where we focus on dynamics and power platform. Topics and sessions. So depending on when this is airing, we're going to have a social meetup on June 25th over at Doc Ford's. We're not learning this month. We're just having fun. Love to continue to build our community.
Awesome. Yeah, this will be out probably the end of this week or first of next. It'll be out before that meeting there.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, Mary, this is a lot of great information for us. I really appreciate you joining us today. It's always great to share with our audience news about upcoming events like Summit. And to all of our listeners out there, if you get a chance, please go by and introduce yourself to Mary. It's always great to meet people in person, to associate a face with an email address or a LinkedIn account or anything else. So by all means, reach out, say hello. Mary it sounds like you'll be all over the place between the golf course, the class, the expo hall. So you'll be a very busy person down there in Orlando.
I'll be a flash of pink. You'll find me.
All right, Mary, thank you so much for today, and we will see you in Orlando.
Thank you so much.